So Callum, say hi again. Can you say hi? Yeah. Okay. So emotional intelligence, being effective in the world, has more to do with our emotional intelligence than even our general intelligence or general knowledge. So how can, because that's what helps us connect with people, that's what helps us express ourselves better, that's what helps us avoid conflicting situations and conflicting conversations, and be much more aligned with what we want to do in the world. So one way is to look at what are all the ways in which we can improve, and what are the areas we can work on in terms of our listening skills, in our ability to relate to people, and look at each of those areas and work on each one of them. But what I want to give you is the direct path, the shortcut to higher emotional intelligence. What is the shortcut? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Maybe that's what the answer is, huh, Callum? So, yes. Where do you want to go? 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 You want something? You want something? Yeah. Okay, go. Yeah, that's right. You want to see outside? You want to see outside? So, what is the direct path or the shortcut to improving and becoming super intelligent when it comes to emotions? Whoa. Okay, got it. Good. Go. Okay, you can go now. So, when, okay, he wants to go inside, I'll be right back. So there is two levels of emotional intelligence, right? So one is when we are operating as this contracted outer self, the name, the person that we are, the beliefs that we have, the experience that we have had in life, and our history and our opinions and knowledge and all of that. Based on that, we have become this personality with a name and a specific address and a particular, set of friends and family and all that. So that is the specific you, or the differentiated you, or the separated you, or the imaginary you that you are. And I say it's imaginary because ultimately there is no such thing. There is only the one, showing up in different forms, in different shapes, in different sizes and different names. So the one is coming from this personality, and we've all taken this quiz operating out of being that personality that we think we are. So the other approach is to discover who we really are, know that we are not this individual separated selves, but ultimately we are I am that. I am the all there is. I am the all. And that is also true already about you. It is not something that you have to get to. It is not something that you have to learn. It is not something you have to do, anything to be that. You are already that. So the only thing is, we are already that and think we are this. And then we operate out of this and we have this score. Now, supposing we took this same quiz as the I am, what would be the answers to the same questions? So let's just go through the same questions again, but giving the answer from a perspective of the expanded, the inner, the true self, rather than the false self or the outer self or the imaginary self. So So supposing the I that is answering these questions is the big I, what would be the answer to all of these? Let us see. I can recognize my emotions when I'm experiencing them. When I am that, what do you say? Not at all, rarely, sometimes, or often. When I am that, when I am that, I am not only, I'm not only the emotion itself is me, showing up in the form of emotion. And I'm the only one that experiences all emotions. In fact, I'm the only one that experiences everything. All that there is experienced by me. So not only I recognize my emotions, I actually create them. And and of course I'm experiencing them because that's all the activity of I is. I, the big I, the true self, divine self, is only experiencing experiences. So the answer to this will not be, I mean, that we need a fifth option here because here the only option that comes close to it is often. The true answer for the big I would be not often, but what would be the answer? Always, exactly. Always. The answer would be always. If I am answering this question, then the answer would be always. Excuse me. So, hi, Jagat, we are in the middle of this quiz, but you can join in as we go. We are looking at a quiz on emotional intelligence. And rather than answering, we did this quiz individually, but rather than answering this quiz from a perspective of the individual self that each one of us is, we are looking at what the answer would be from a perspective of the bigger I. So here I say often, and then go to the next one. When I'm faced with challenges, I remember similar past experiences and how I overcame them. What will be the answer here? Not at all, rarely, sometimes, often. When I'm all there is, what would be the answer to this? Yeah, I don't need to, because all past experiences live in me in eternity. There is no past that disappears, and there is no future that appears. I am all of it. If I am all of it, then all experiences are simultaneously and immediately present at all times. So while I don't need to, the answer that comes closest again is often. I can easily read other people's emotions. If I am divine self, what would I say? And not only I read other people's emotions, I feel other people's emotions. Not only I feel the other person's emotions, I am those emotions also of the other person. So if you're operating as that I, and you see somebody who is angry or upset, you would not only immediately read, you would know. You would already know. So while we are doing this as a divine self, as if it is some other energy or some other entity, it is not. It is you. You can also operate easily. If you are coming out of I am all there is, then you would be very much in touch with the other person's emotions. You would be directly knowing what is going on in the other person's mind in terms of how they are feeling. So we can all do that. So here again, the answer would be often. I can tell how others are feeling by the tone of their voice. These are like kindergarten questions for the I am, right? In a way, it is very too simple, because it's clearly not just by the tone. I already know, because I feel everything that there is. And I would, so often would be the answer again. So next question, when I'm happy and in a good mood. So when you are operating out of the big I or the inner I, you can easily come up with good ideas and solutions to problems. Yes, of course. Great ideas, the divine intelligence. It's like, and you're always happy as well. So again, the answer would be always, forever, but the closest one is again often. I've been told I'm a good listener. I am the best listener there is. All I do is listen. I'm all ears. Ganesh ke jo kaan hai wo bade hai, muh chota hai. Ganesh, the big ears, because listening is a automatic. And why? I'll tell you something about listening. Listening comes, you can learn the art of listening, how to be engaged in a conversation, how to acknowledge whatever the other person is saying, and how to respond. And you can learn 10 different things and take 10 different tips and read 5 different books and try to be a good listener. But the simplest way to be a good listener is to be interested in the other person's self, interested in what the other person is feeling, interested in what the other person is thinking. If you're interested, you will automatically do everything right. You will be a good listener. And the I that you are, the true I, is already not just interested. Imagine the difference between, let's say you are in love with somebody and you are spending some time with them. How closely would you listen to whatever they are saying? You would be like all ears, every word, everything, every sentence that's coming out of their mouth, you are listening so closely and feeling and relating and all that. Why? Because you love that person.
We listen without taste.
Sorry?
When we are in love, we listen the other person without his speaking.
Without hearing also. Without hearing the speech also we hear it. Yeah.
Without him speaking.
Without him speaking also. Yeah, even without words, you already hear what they want to say. That's even higher level than that. Exactly. And why does it happen? So you become a good listener in the presence of your beloved. Why? Even the worst listener becomes a great listener. Why? Because you're in love, you're interested. So the art of listening is the art of love, is the same thing. And when you are operating from the inner I that you are, everything that anyone is saying is your own self talking back to you. And you would, of course, become automatically a good listener. So the answer again is often. I am an optimist. I expect good things to happen. What do you say? When you're operating as the I am, the inner you, the true you, there is nothing but optimism. There is nothing but great, wonderful, beautiful things happening, and everything is fine. No matter what happens, it's already wonderful. So you're operating in good things happening. So it's often, again, I'm aware of my strengths and weaknesses. The I that you are knows everything, knows all that there is to know. So again, the answer is often. I can tell how others are feeling by their facial expressions. Even without them, I can tell how they are feeling. So, but of course, I can read you. So this is, put yourself in the position of the big I. Don't think about this as some separate divine God sitting in the clouds and who is so powerful, but it's not I. It is you yourself have that potential, are already that. So think about you in these same situations, not operating as Anamika and Naved and Sanjeev, but operating as the divine self that you are. Then automatically facial expressions is nothing even without them. But of course, with them, you will know how they're feeling. When a friend is going through a difficult time, I feel like I'm experiencing it with them. And of course, again, the answer is always because everyone is your friend. First of all, everyone is your friend. It's not that this friend and that friend. Everyone is your friend and everyone is your beloved. So when everyone is your beloved, and if your beloved is going through a difficult time, would you not feel like you're experiencing it with them? Of course, definitely. So again, the answer is always, but we'll have to stay with often. When others are feeling down, I can help them feel better. Of course. Yeah. So पुरुषोत्तम जी, आपका तो आउटर सेल्फ इनर सेल्फ भी दोनों में है. You help them feel better. As a doctor, and of course on this open door, we are also up to the same thing, helping others to feel better about the world, about themselves, and experiencing life as beauty. So I help them feel better often. I'm positive, and I'll do well on anything new that I try, of course. So there is this thing called a gyro board. I don't know if it has come to India yet. It's a surfboard. There's a big wheel like this in the middle of the skateboard. It's like a skateboard, and there's a wheel. And then you stand on it and you lean forward and it moves forward, and you lean backward and it moves back. And it's like a surfboard with a wheel on it. So my son-in-law Brendan has got it. I want to show a video of him. I don't know if he liked this to be on YouTube, so let me pause the recording. Yeah, I'll just listen. So that's my son-in-law Brendan on that gyro board. But so he of course does well at it. But knowing me, do you think I tried this or not? Of course. So again, and I'm doing pretty well. So going back to that quiz question, of course we are going to be, our approach is that we will do, and my daughter is going, no dad, don't try it, you'll fall, you won't hurt yourself, blah blah blah, you can't do it. But of course it's fine. So yes, I'm positive that I will do well on anything new that I try. Of course, with answering from the I that you are, the answer is often. People easily confide in me. The I that I am is available to be, people are always looking to this inner self to share their innermost fears, their innermost trouble, their innermost suffering, and they want to confide in me. And that's true. And when I'm operating out of the I that I am, so for example, because of Open Door and all the stuff that I'm involved with, so many people share with me so many things about their innermost struggles, their personal struggles, their personal joy. Yeah, there is no such thing as I don't know if there's too much confiding. I mean, when you're operating with a self that is in total surrenderfulness, then there is total trust. And when there is total trust, there is nothing like too much confiding. It's just sharing whatever it is. So yeah, I don't give up easily when faced with a challenge. Of course not. I do not only not give up, I create the challenges myself, because no challenge is too big for me. I make those challenges. I bring challenges into my life even when they are not there, because I wish to, because of this sense of adventure, this sense of freedom and love. So again, the answer is often. When others do well, I'm happy for them. So, when others do well, then that means I am doing well. So this is something I also understood a few years ago. Like, I love anything and everything, whether it's dance or music or poetry or painting or so many things. And I try so many things, but some things I'm just not, my body doesn't support me in doing that good job at it currently. Like painting. I cannot draw and paint like so many other people. And it used to be when I looked at somebody who was such a wonderful painter or an artist, I would go, oh my God, I wish I could paint like that. And feel, a little bit of jealousy or whatever. But operating and learning and getting deeper and deeper into the self, into the I that I truly am, my joy is in that there is painting, that there is art, that there is this outpouring of expression. The very fact that it is expressed, the very fact that it exists is a source of joy to me. Who cares who is doing it? How does it matter? So same thing with singing or anything. Used to be when I used to hear very good singers, I would go, oh, I wish I could sing like that. Now it's more like, wow, what a great singing, what a great voice. I just enjoy how beautifully somebody else can sing. And that happens automatically because how does it matter? There is no other me. It's all me anyway. So that just because that person has the name of, I don't know, Shreya Ghoshal or something else, how does it matter? It's still song. It's a source of joy and beauty for me. So when others do well, I'm happy for them. Absolutely ecstatic. So again, the answer is often, I avoid arguments and conflicts. Operating from the true self is about cooperation. Nature, you look at nature. Nature avoids conflicts and arguments. You just go ahead. You just do your thing. A river, a river is flowing, comes to a huge boulder, which it cannot pass. What does it do? It does not argue with the boulder. It does not have a conflict with the boulder. It doesn't, boulder, why you are there? Why you are like this? You should move. I want to go this way. No, it just takes its own turn and goes around naturally without effort. So avoiding arguments and conflicts is a direct consequence of operating out of the I that you are. The I that you are, there is no conflict. In fact, there is no argument. If somebody thinks something different than you, it's just what it is. How does it matter? Let them think, do, act in whatever way. Of course, when it comes to the relative world and there is a physical threat, you need to protect yourself, you need to defend yourself. But that's not about arguing and conflicting. Don't argue, just defend yourself. Go away if it's that difficult. Move away. But you don't have to have a conflict. You don't have to have an argument. If somebody is attacking you, defend yourself. But that's not an argument. It's not a conflict. It's just something you need to do or leave. So again, the answer is often, I make friends easily. How about this one? I'm already the friend of all that there is. And the more and more we become aware and awake on this path of oneness, this happens so easily. I was in Canada for about maybe less than a week. I must have made at least 15 new friends. 15. At least 15, if not more. Perfect strangers on the street. A guy playing, I told you about this experience in the park, or maybe I'll tell you next time. We are running out of time. But I made a friends with a student who was playing a guitar, and we played guitar together in the park. And he sang. His name is Vishal from Chandigarh, I think. Yeah, he's a student over here. Vishal plays the guitar nicely, sings well, and we both, small concert happened in the park in Toronto because I made friends with him. At a restaurant, we are waiting for our table. I made friends with about 10 students who were also waiting for a table. To the point where now we know what we do, our names, our phone numbers, addresses, everything. It's just making friends easily. Why? Because we are in love with all that there is. So again, the answer is often. And next, I know how to calm myself down when I'm upset or anxious. Well, the I that you are is never anxious, is never upset to begin with. What is there to be upset or anxious about? I am all that there is. I have a feeling some of these questions we need to spend a lot more, we can understand a lot deeper on from the perspective of oneness. So we can do that as we go. But for now, let's just do it from this quiz point of view. So I know how to calm myself when I'm upset or anxious. Absolutely. Not only that, I don't get upset or anxious when I'm operating from the inner I that I am. What is there to be upset about? What is there to be anxious about? The biggest anxiety is about health, wealth, relationships, money. And none of these matter when you are speaking in terms of eternity, right? So the answer is always, but we'll have to stay with often. I enjoy planning activities and events for others. Okay, if I, the big I, is answering this question, what is the big event that I'm planning and enjoying? What is the big event that the big I is planning and enjoying? Purushottam ji, what is it?
This
2 minutes, we are
universe
finishing.
This universe
Sorry?
itself. This universe itself.
Exactly. The universe itself is the big event activity that I'm planning and enjoying. So often, I know when to discuss how I'm feeling with others. Of course, answer is often. Yeah, so extremely high IQ, high EQ. But that's no surprise because we are talking about the inner self. But the important thing to know, Nancy and everyone, is that inner self with the extremely high EQ is not outside of you. It is you itself. You are already that. And the only thing that you need to do is step out of the way and allow the inner self to operate in this world. Allow the inner self to interact. Let that be the one that speaks. Let that be the one that listens. Let that be the one that acts. Let that be the one on whose behalf all of this activity is happening through us and in us. And when we do that, then life is a bliss, life is joy, life is truth, life is beauty, life is wonderful. Life is all that we ever wanted it to be. So, and it's that simple. It's that simple. We don't have to go very far. We don't have to do 20 years of meditation in a cave in the Himalayas. It's not required. It's not needed. You are already that. You are already that divine self. So live and operate out of that. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions or comments anyone has? Any questions or comments? Naived? Thank you. You're welcome. Any thoughts, any reaction to whatever you heard?
It was very good, informative. The only thing is I don't know how to, like, there was a question, the 17th or 18th question. So I'll just, yeah, I've taken a snip of it. I'll just go through it once.
Yeah, sure.
There's only one question which you went through, which is about self-control, on self-control. So I'm just trying to locate it.
Okay. But take the quiz now from the point of view of not your outer self, but from the point of view of the inner self that you truly are. The divine self that you are, not your personality.
Sir, what happens is our nature differs from individual to individual.
Correct.
If we come across someone if you come across someone who's, like probably, cheated you or disheartened you in the past, then automatically your inner self, however good you want to be, or however good you trying to be, like somewhere down the line, that the previous emotions and the previous experiences still do haunt you, like still do haunt us.
Yes, but yeah, very true, very true, very true. When you're operating from the individual self that you think you are, that's very true.
Right.
It's but natural. What we are talking about here is seeing through that, seeing past that individual separate self that you think you are, and reaching the core of your being, who you really are. Who you really are is the experiencer of all your life, your thoughts, your emotions. And that experiencer that you are has no such limits of holding on to anything from the past. It completely is only in the here and the now, and operates in the here and the now.
Right.
And for that inner being that you truly are, there is only love, there is only forgiveness, there is only truth, there is only beauty. So the choice is whether we want to continue to operate out of this individual self, or simply use this individual self as a vehicle to express who you really are, which only wants to love. At the end of the day, all we want, all we ever want, all of us, without exception, all we want is to be loving, to be peaceful, to be happy. There's no doubt about that.
You're right.
And yeah, so how do we move more and more?
That is from the soul point. Right. I'm sorry to interrupt. That's from the soul point of view. So from the soul point of view, the soul always wants peace, joy, happiness. It wants to be in compassion with everyone. There are certain souls who like, I like to be compassionate. I've been a very kind and compassionate soul, is what my own self-analysis I have done. So over a period of 38 years of my life, I've been too overkind and too compassionate. Being too divine, too much of divinity is not healthy for today's world. So after having various experiences of being too good, being too kind, I have pulled myself behind, and I was trying to make myself more live with
a little
word,
tough,
kind.
more tough rather than soft.
More soft-hearted type.
Yeah. I know what you
Emotional,
mean. And
soft-hearted. And
yeah,
then that's
I
not
hear
a good
you.
thing. I call it to be a weakness. It's not a strength for me, because being too kind, I don't know how to say the word no. So my family is trying to teach me how to say no. If someone asks me something, I give it away, because I come from the Bhagavad Gita study, philosophical background. So what I understand is I am a temporary soul in this world. Temporary body is temporary. My understanding, I am a temporary human being in this world. I'm going to leave behind everything. So I don't take anything as mine. I take everything as universal. But looking at it as universal, then people have. Today's world is difficult, sir. I'm sorry. Today's world is difficult. So I came out of depression because of Manojji's magical gratitude. Because of the emoji.
Nice.
Because of the emoji and because of Manojji, I was able to be back on track mentally. I was able to retain myself.
Beautiful.
Because of magical gratitude. Very helpful. Very, very helpful. So that is one thing that actually,
helps. Yeah, that gratitude is automatic when you're in touch with that inner self that you truly are. It's natural and it's automatic, and you naturally understand what a gift this whole life experience is. What a divine, what a privilege it is to be alive. What a privilege it is to take even one breath. So when we are in touch with that inner self, the gratitude automatically emerges from our inner being and fills us with love, fills us with joy. And there is no room then for depression and I mean, there's room for sadness when there is room.
For me to initially forgive. Forgiveness was something which was very challenging for me. I had to literally go through an half-an-hour session with Manojji to, it was decades of vicious thoughts that was being carried within me over a decade, you could say, over a decade or two. So it was over 10, 12 years of, distancing with people, the same person putting you down thrice in your lifetime, by cheating you thrice. So I would call myself a fool that I trusted that person for the second or third time. He's the end of the day, we all God souls, like we all souls made by God. But then something hurt me, and I was in deep depression for 3-4 years of my life. Like 4 years I was
Right,
away from the world.
right, right,
Completely away from the world. I didn't work, I didn't study, nothing. I was completely away from the world.
right,
Post 2020 I came back. Post 2020
right.
is
So
I came back. Sorry.
correct, correct. So when we say being in touch with your inner self, knowing you are this soul, not only you, the other person is also ultimately the same spark showing up in another name, in another body, in another set of thoughts and circumstances, and you are also the same. So when we do that, when we say that, it doesn't mean that their behavior or their actions also you need to like. Loving a person and loving their action or activity is not the same thing. So when you can make that separation, you can feel compassion and love for that being and yet not tolerate nonsense or not tolerate being walked on. So 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 have this. So I love you, and it's not okay that you cheat me. What happens is it's not okay that you cheat me, so I hate you. That hate you part is optional. Why do we don't need to do that. Our problem is with the cheating, which is not acceptable, and we don't have to accept that. But we don't have to stop loving. Nothing prevents us from loving all that there is. We can still love the person, the being, the soul that they are, and yet not tolerate or accept their cheating or their unjust behavior. So if someone is, you know, abusing you or whatever it is, any kind of behavior.
Even conning or cheating, like mistrust. Trust has
Yeah,
been
yeah,
broken.
conning, cheating,
Financially,
mistrust, or
verbally.
or violence or whatever. See, when we say operating out of love, operating out of forgiveness, we mix the person and their behavior as one lump sum. When we mix the person and the behavior as one thing, that's when the trouble starts. That's when we start becoming hard and tough and unloving. And that hurts us, and that is no fun. We don't enjoy being unloving, right? We don't
But
enjoy.
you yourself feel like you're safer there, like in that zone. You feel yourself you're in the safer side or in the right direction. Although you're not happy within, but like it's like good to avoid certain people kinds. Good to avoid certain things.
You maybe so at a physical level, maybe you don't want to interact with them. If they've cheated you, you don't want to do business with them anymore. All
Don't
that
want
is
to look
okay.
at them.
You
Avoid them,
may
like
not
completely
want to
avoid
look at
them.
them also, but in your
Avoid it.
heart, in your heart, in your heart, you can still feel love and compassion for them as the being and the soul that they are. That is up to us. That is not up to them. We do not want to give away the keys to the kingdom of love that we are. In the process of losing, you already lost money to them. You already lost your sleep and your peace of mind. You don't
Absolutely
want
true.
to lose your lovingness to them. You understand the difference?
Right.
Don't lose your lovingness also to them on top of all the other things that you have lost to them. You lost
Yeah.
money, your mood, your peace of mind, your sleep,
Absolutely.
whatever.
Yes.
Now, on top of them, you also want to lose your lovingness.
No.
That's when I'm saying, don't do that. Don't do that. So, that is still in our hands, because we can operate out of the the true self that we are, feeling love and compassion for them, feeling love and compassion for them by separating them from their behavior. Their behavior is one thing which you are not okay with, but they are not their behavior. They are something much deeper, something much more magnificent, much wider. They are at the innermost core. They are the soul. They are the divine spark that you are.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Right. So knowing that, when we separate these two things, that this is just the surface level stuff that we are rejecting. We don't have to throw away the baby with the bath water. You heard that expression?
Yeah.
Don't throw away the baby with the bath water.
Mhm.
The bath
Right.
water we want to throw away, no problem. Don't throw away
Right.
the baby.
Right.
That's all it is. So you can still continue to feel love for them. You may never see them again. You may never want to talk to them. That's okay.
It's
That's
self-avoidance,
fine.
like deliberately
Yeah.
self-avoidance.
See, liking somebody is optional.
Mhm.
Loving is not optional. Loving is you. When you stop
Right.
yourself from loving
Mhm.
is when you close your heart down, close yourself down, and missing out on what this life is about. Why we are here on the planet is to love. So we don't want to do that. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Love them. Love them. When you love them, automatically forgiveness happens.
Right. True.
So love them, forgive them. Don't tolerate their incorrect, inappropriate behavior.
Okay.
And
Okay.
whatever it takes, don't do business with them, don't meet them at a party, don't talk to them, whatever, that's all okay. But inside,
Mhm.
only love.
And no
Inside,
carrying
only love.
grudges, no carrying within your heart, not to carry ill feelings or hurtful feelings for the other person. Like no grudges.
Exactly.
That's
No, take it once, not only not carrying hurtful, I'm saying take it one step further. Feel love for them. No problem. What is wrong with feeling love for them? They are not their behavior, right? Whatever a thief is, that thief was not a thief 100% 24/7 for all people for all time. No, that thievingness or connivingness came from somewhere before at some point. And at some point they may stop being conniving and thieving, right?
Right.
Hold on.
See, when I
So
come across
that
the same person multiple times, I don't have any. I feel very good. We get along well. But what happens is we also do interact. But I try and avoid that person itself, that individual itself,
yeah,
because
that's
past
okay. I'm
experiences
talking
that
about
are
the I'm talking
decay,
about the inner experience. Outer, you avoid them or you talk to them sometimes or don't. It's okay. Either way, whatever you do is fine. The inner experience can still be one of love.
Right.
Not just not holding ill feelings, feeling love for them. See, not holding ill
Very
feelings is
difficult.
one step.
Yeah.
You can feel love for them because knowing who they really are. Who they really are is nothing but divine. Divinity in this form.
So love for them is there, but I cannot show it to them. I cannot express it. I can't express it to them
That's
because that fear of again getting cheated, again getting conned, again falling into the same trap, again falling into the same wave. So avoiding that wave.
sure. So I understand. Yeah, you can express them in that in whatever way. You can express it in silence. You can express it in any way. That is fine. But have that in you. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Right. Right.
Great.
So
Great.
silently, it's okay silently, right? Because
Right,
if I
of course.
express it, then the other person thinks again he's become very sublime or very humble, and then they start
Right.
taking undue advantage of my kindness, of the
Right,
good.
right. Yeah, yeah. Even in silence. Love in silence is the best kind of love.
Oh, great.
Great. Okay. Great.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thanks for that question. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love you all. Keep coming. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Sanjivji.
Naveji. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, everyone.